Hi guys, welcome to Darren's Travelling Corner, and today we're going to be having a look at finding the boundary stops in the Waterlooville area. Now, you've just joined me in Havant bus station specifically, and I'm stood right outside of the first bus that I'll be getting as a part of this challenge. Will be going up towards Petersfield. Now, just to give you a bit of a picture, there are 6 buses in the area of Waterlooville, and 4 of them have a boundary stop. This bus is stood behind me at the moment. It's got 2, so you've got one because it goes to Petersfield, and then it just starts here and goes to Petersfield, and then you're able to then just go through Hornby, Clanfield, and whichever way you wish to go. But the important thing I'd find in this, particularly when you do challenges something like this, is to always start with your least frequent buses. Do your least frequent buses first, don't do them last, because if you try and do them last, it could spell trouble for you later on down the line. So without further ado, let's have some fun with this challenge, and I will see you at the front of the 37. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me at the front of the 37 going towards Petersfield. Now, I'm going to be coming off at Cheltenham Lane because we're looking at the boundary stops in the Waterlooville area this time, and I'm very excited to be taking you along for the ride. Now, the one thing that I've noticed is that many years ago, the 37 used to go down Blenworth Crescent, and then it went along a bit, and then used to go down the road. It used to go through Stone Square like that's what the 39s are doing now. The 37s used to do that, and then it went, because they still don't call it Park Parade, they never used to. And then
Georgia Close.
Thank you, Rick. And then we went up, and the 39 went up and did what the 19 does now. And with that in motion, it's a really, I've been travelling on these buses since 2006, so this year would be the 20th, it'd be 20 years since I've been on the buses. And I always remember it, because when I got my very first disabled person's bus pass, it only allowed me, well, it allowed me all over Hampshire, but then that was it. If I ended up going out of Hampshire, I needed to make sure to return there in the same day. Needed to return to the county in the same day, because otherwise it'd be stuck. Now this bus, they now run to Petersfield, but they used to only run to Hazelton Way. They used to terminate at the last stop at Hazelton Way, and then they turned round and then went back again. And then these got extended to Petersfield, and then
to Petersfield.
And then that bus, then the 38 was introduced, and then the 37 connected into the 38, making it a guaranteed connection to Alton. Some buses still do that, but not as many, because the 37s are 1 an hour, the 38s are every other hour. So if you miss a 38, essentially you're waiting 2 hours for another one. Yeah, best of luck. Not that much to do in Petersfield unless you plan to get other buses in and around the area. Well, join me back in a bit as I take you up to the first boundary stop of Charlton Lane. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now at Charlton Lane. Now, I've just got to point out that, I think I've picked a really bad time to do this video because, as you might have noticed, I am in the middle of nowhere. So what I might do actually, just to give myself a bit of time, because I've got an hour here or thereabouts, so I might just walk down to Green Lane and try and get myself into a well-known area. But yeah, this is just literally it. I'm in grasslands and it's raining as well, so that bit of pavement is blocked off. It's completely flooded. Yeah. Well, never mind. I guess I just have to start walking. Try not to slip either, because these shoes are well known for misbehaving. But yeah, I don't think it'd be a wise idea if I walk through this part, because I'm going to get drenched. Not that I'm not getting drenched already. So I'm just going to walk back through, find a pavement, or thereabouts, and wow. If I was there, I would have been splashed. But join me back in a bit as I take you on another 37. It might well be the same one that I was just on. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me on the front of the 37, and I'm pretty sure this is the same one that I got off. But I will say, actually, I'm absolutely relieved that palaver is now over, because literally Charlton Lane, that boundary stop, that boundary stop of Waterlooville and Southampton, I must add, because it's both, literally plants you in the middle of nowhere. So I'm quite relieved to be back on the bus, because I was there for about half an hour. I walked down from Charlton Lane down to Green Lane, the two bus stops. So then I wasn't stranded in the middle of nowhere for an hour. But here we are, back at Clanfield Village, and I'm going to make my way to Waterlooville now. But join me back in a bit and we'll be in Waterlooville, just as I sort of change from this bus to a 39. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me back at Waterlooville. What an interesting journey that was on the 37. I mean, it's just been rather incredible to being able to go up to Petersfield from Havant. I'm just going to have a look around for a bit, because I'm waiting for a 39 now, because I'm going to go to the next boundary stop. It is just gone nearly 20 minutes to 1, and I've only done one boundary stop so far, but the others should be relatively close together, so it shouldn't be too bad. But before I do anything else though, I'm actually going to need a drink. Now, there are no timetables for either stagecoach bus, so at the moment I'm just on a limb, guessing on a limb as to when the next one's coming. I see one for the 7 and the 8, but I don't see one for the 37 or the 39. So, unfortunately, that's the way it goes. But I'll be back in a bit, and I will be on the back of a 39, going to the next boundary stop. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me at the back of a 39 now. I'm just about to get ready to go to videos that I've done. And then as the Walmart, or as the hypermarket as it's now called, Asda is no longer teamed up with Walmart. Hasn't been for years, so I'm still getting confused between the two names. But there we go. Can't remember what I was going to say now. That's right. So the hypermarket is the boundary stop for Waterlooville for some of the 39, so not all of them call there. The boundary stop we're going to look at after this one is the boundary stop for the rest of them. So this is where things get interesting. So join me back in a bit and I will take you through the next boundary stop in the Waterlooville area. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now at Asda hypermarket, and here we are just waiting at, this would be the Waterlooville ticket zone boundary stop for the 39s. Well, the ones that actually call here. They stopped calling here around 2:45. But since we're now just gone 1:05, I think we'll be all right. Now the next 39 should be along pretty soon. In about 5 minutes, as a matter of fact. Now the rest of this challenge shouldn't be too much of a problem because the rest of the boundary stops are quite close together. And now since I've got the 37 out of the way, we can now breathe easy and my life will be much easier. But I was going to say I was going to have a quick look at Asda. Well, first off, I don't have any money, so I can't really do much. And my next bus is in 5 minutes, so I wouldn't really have much time either. Never mind. Never learn, I guess. But join me back in a bit as I'm at the next of the boundary stops. There's not really much point in me doing a 39 transit from here to the next boundary stop because it's only one stop away. But again, join me back in a bit and I will see you at the next boundary stop of Waterlooville. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now at Purbrick Way roundabout, which is the ticket zone boundary stop for Waterlooville when you're on a 37 going to Havant. Now, the one thing that I do need to mention at this point is that at the last one I was at Asda hypermarket and I said that was the ticket zone boundary stop for Waterlooville to the 39. Yeah, that's only for a select few buses, and for the ones that don't call at Asda hypermarket, this will be the cut-off point for Waterlooville. Well, just over there. Now, I'm outside B&Q. I'm also outside of a Lidl's, which will be opening very soon. But I'm just thinking along the ideas of, if I've got any video ideas and I'm going to do some creative stuff, I might nip into B&Q for some resources. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Sounds like something me and my dad could do together. I mean, for one thing, I do want to repaint my little chest that I've got, little crazy trunk that I've got. So I want to do that, and hopefully be able to put a bit of wood on top of it so it turns into something like a little table. Now that would be nice. And with that being said, I've just had some ideas brewing up in my head, and what I will do is, as soon as they come about, I'll share them with you. But for now, join me back in a bit as I wait for the next bus. Now, there's a slight twist to this challenge, and I'll explain more about that when I'm on the next bus. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You just joined me at the back of the 20, just going to the next boundary stop, and this is where the twist in this video lies, because I would normally class this as part of the Waterlooville ticket zone, and Crickhorn normally is counted as such. But when you're on a 20, it then comes under Portsmouth, because then what it does is it goes down the same way as you normally would do if you're on any of the Waterlooville buses, but then you turn right into Portsmouth instead of left for the college. So this would be the second time that I've made my way into or through Crickhorn. Well, technically, I should say the third time, because I've done the 37 all the way to the first one to Cholton Lane. That was it. So I was on the 37 going through Cholton Lane, then I've got a 39 back, and now I'm going to do it on the 20. And I guess what I'm doing it again on the 7 as well. So all of the crucial buses that go through Crickhorn, I would have been on them all. This is going to be a rather impelling journey, if you will, and a rather interesting video as well. But join me back in a bit, because my bus stop is fast approaching. Now, a couple of stops away now, 3 stops after this one, and I will see you at the next boundary stop for Waterlooville. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now at Fort Pembroke, which is the boundary stop for Waterlooville for the 7. Now, this may spark confusion for people, because you get a 20 that comes here, that goes to and from Havant, and people would be asking themselves, well, is Fort Pembroke actually the boundary stop for Havant, or is it for Waterlooville? Now, I would have said for Waterlooville, because this is all the first buses, and that bus then carries on into Waterlooville, and there are no first buses in Havant, where there used to be a couple. The 27 was run by First for a while, and then we had the 63. Now, when we had the 63 going from Havant to Fareham, the 27 was also run by Emsworth and District even prior to that. Then First took over in 2018, and now it's run by Stagecoach. Sounds a bit of a menagerie of companies. I mean, Stagecoach was the third one to have managed the 27. But I just thought I'd mention that here, because just to try and clear up the matter of whether Fort Pembroke should be a Waterlooville boundary stop or whether it should be Havant. Of course, because you've then got the 20 that runs to Havant, But yeah, I would say it's Waterlooville in this retrospect because all the areas surrounding this bus stop up to that, after this point, are all in the Waterlooville ticket zone. It's just that for the 20 it comes under Portsmouth, which I find is really rather odd. But anyway, join me back in a bit as I take you on the back of the 7, because then what I'll do then when I get back into the precinct, I will then change into the 8 and then look at the last of the boundary stops for Waterlooville. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You just joined me at the back of the 7 and we're going back to the very centre of this video. The very place that's in the centre of this video, which is Waterlooville, the precinct. And that is because I need to go back and change into the 8s. We've got one more boundary stop left to look at, which is the Hampshire Road. And something quite memorable is going to be coming up as well, which I'm going to talk about when I get there. Sorry, my glasses have reacted. And that's why they've gone so dark, and they even reacted when it was tipping it down with rain. So it just comes to show how well these glasses are doing in protecting my eyes. But they're starting to go back to normal now. Good.
Your safety. Please remain seated until the bus stops. If you tapped on by the window, please remember to tap on as you move.
Thank you, Amy. Luckily, I've got a disabled person's bus pass, so I don't have to worry about any of that because I can get the travel for free. So anyway, join me back in a bit, and I will be back at Waterlooville precinct. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me back at Waterlooville. Now, I'm going to have a quick look around the shops while I wait for the next 8, because I'm going to miss that one. And there's another one in 15 minutes. Now, there's a junk emporium nearby, and there's also one in Cosham as well. I do like looking in those because you never know, one man's junk is another man's treasure. That's how the saying goes. And it couldn't be more true. I mean, I like the idea of seeing what's going on in there, but what I do plan to do is just have a look inside and give my honest review as to what I think. Now, I know what I think of that place because I've been in there a few times and I love what I've seen. There's another restaurant that's just opened, that's not long opened up, called The Exchange. Now, I think it's almost going to be like another Ivy, but there's another one that I do want to test out nearer the time, so I'll ask if I can just do something in there and just try and promote the company. So I've got some ideas brewing up in my head already, and believe me, it's going to be an absolute blast. But join me back in a bit as I'm going to take you on the back of an 8 going back to the last of the boundary stops at the Waterlooville area. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You just joined me now at the back of the 8. Now, I thought I'd hop on quickly now because the boundary stop for this bus isn't too far away. I think it's about 4 or 5, possibly 6 stops away from here. So it's not too far at all. Now, the one thing that I noticed with this bus and with the 7 is they both go to the hospital. Now, I try not to film anything on hospital grounds. Sorry. I tried not to film anything inside hospital grounds because as much as I like doing these sort of videos, you've got to know where to draw the line as well. And I must admit, I really enjoyed this journey. I knew that was coming. Sorry, had to sneeze there. It's out now. And yeah, just passing Victoria Road, there are 2 bus stops in this precinct. And I've seen them both now. I've got off of both. And then we're finally out of the precinct. Join me back in a bit as I take you on the around the next of, well, maybe the last now of the boundary stops for the Waterlooville area. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now outside Hampshire Rose, and this is the pub that I went to when I was very young, because there was a little bit that was there was a little bit there where there was where they used to have kids parties, and it says on there, whatever your event, book with us today, and that says the 7th of November 2004. But I think that's a little bit outdated, just a bit. I mean, we're in 2026 now, so that says something. But what I'm going to do at some point is I'm just going to grab another drink, I think, and then hopefully have enough time just to charge my phone up, because needs charging. And then after that I can then start thinking about making my way back home. But this is the pub that I've been talking about. It's been a while since I've been inside the Hampshire Rose, as long as I can remember. But join me back in a bit as I then just sort of start thinking about making my way back home. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You just joined me at the back of another 8, and I want to point out that my phone's battery is running low, so it's probably a good job I've got this handy. But also, over in the area, well, we were in the area of Waterlooville. I've just wanted to mention the D1 and the D2 buses that are in the area, because they used to run as a 45 and a 45A, and they used to start at Portsmouth, and then a little while ago they were cut back to Waterlooville and renumbered D1, D2. So they were 9 and 9A for a while as well, and then they were cut back to Waterlooville and then renumbered D1 and D2, and they now are run by a stagecoach, taking over a lot of buses from First as of late. So we used to have some other buses in the Portsmouth area that were run by First, but they're now run by Stagecoach. So it's just, I find it rather curious as to how everything switches hands between different bus companies, and it always amazes me as to how it all comes about. Well, I'm just getting ready to make my way home now. This has been an amazing journey, and I'm just glad I was able to take you all along with me for the ride. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
The
Bye.
next
Bye.
stop is Chalkridge Road.